I want to go to scenario 2 now, which is, where we're examining the prospects of the opposite, which is the Maha Vikas Aghadi continuing the pattern of the Lok Sabha election. And if that were to happen, let's go back to the battle between the Maratha warriors. If in scenario 2, you've got the Maha Vikas Aghadi, the India alliance, crossing 145. And if this happens, it essentially means that what we saw in June 2024 gets carried over to November this year. And Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar are able to carry some of the sympathy vote. If this happens, this would be a rejection of the politics of Jodhpur. This idea that you can break the Shiv Sena, you can break the NCP and make it work in your favour. That idea would then get rejected by the voters of Maharashtra. It also means that the alliance chemistry that we saw between MVA partners proves to be better than the alliance chemistry between the Mahayuti partners. And then the impact of the Larki Behen scheme, which has been spoken of so much in this campaign, gets neutralised by inflation, by soya bean prices, and the fact that there is a general sense of anti-incumbency. And that Maratha reservation agitation actually ends up hurting the Mahayuti. There's been an agitation, the Mahayuti is trying to counter that, but if this happens, it means the Maratha votes consolidated in favour of the MVA, and soya bean prices really hurt the NDA's prospects in Marathwada and in Vidar. Let's now try and turn this scenario into a simulation and show you the numbers. So in this scenario, if there is a clear win for the India alliance, what could the numbers look like? So let me show you the Game of Thrones for Maharashtra, and then we'll take you through the numbers for it. So I'll show you two scenarios. In the first scenario, the Mahayuti comes down by 2.5%, the Mahayuti comes down by 2.5%, and the Maha Vikas Aghadi goes up by 2.5%. So Mahayuti comes down by 2.5%, the Maha Vikas Aghadi goes up by, if that were to happen, then you have a scenario where the Mahayuti comes down to 106 from 126 in the Lok Sabha elections. They come down to 106. The Maha Vikas Aghadi from 153 goes up 20 seats to 173. This is the first scenario we're taking, where the UT is down 1.5%, the Maha Vikas Aghadi is up 1.5%. Just that kind of a vote share, just 1.5% can make this big a change to the end results. Let's take the second scenario where the UT comes down, the NDA comes down by 2.5%, the Maha Vikas Aghadi goes up by 2.5%. If this were to happen, then the MVA or the India alliance could end up at 186 and the Mahayuti could come down to 93. This is a bad case scenario, but it could get worse. If there is a 5% swing over the Lok Sabha trends, then the Maha Vikas Aghadi could go up by as much as 207 and the Mahayuti could come down to as much as 72. So what I'll try and do just for a moment is see if I can fire this up and do some simulations within the studio. We'll start with Rajdeep. So basically you've got the Mahayuti on this side, and if you're watching at this time, you can do this at home as well. So you've got the BJP contesting 149, the Shinde Sena contesting 81, the NCP 59. Rajdeep, broadly, if you were to be asked, what's your sense of where the BJP could end up and what the strike rate could be? And I'll put it down once you give me a number.
No, I'm not going to get into this game, Rahul. All I will say is this. Either the Mahayuti wins big, right? As, with Amitabh's swing of 5%, that's possible. Can't be ruled out if Larki Behen has had
5% swing over the Lok Sabha in favour of the Maha Vikas Aghadi.
No, in favour of the... my two scenarios for this election basically are a huge swing in favour of the Mahayuti riding on the back of Larki Behen compared to Lok Sabha, and thereby they get a big majority because then you could get the upper end 175, 180. Or we have a seat-by-seat contest of the kind that I saw, and because Marathwada and Vidarbha are where the Congress and the Maha Vikas Aghadi are very much in the race, then you have a tight contest that could go either way, where I refuse to even throw a number.
Okay, so let me put somebody else on the spot then. Milind Deora joins us, Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament of the Shinde Sena, also a contestant from Worli up against Aditya Thackeray. So Milind, welcome. We've got this election war game going on. We're looking at different scenarios. So why don't you start by giving our viewers, and I'll start noting what you say, for the Mahayuti, the BJP, Shinde Sena, NCP, how many seats do you think each are picking?
Rahul, I leave these war games to Rajdeep and you. You guys are the experts at doing this. I, for one, with greatest respect to both of you, I've never been and I think my track record as a politician has been very consistent on this front. I have always taken exit polls with a pinch of salt, with a grain of salt rather. And I believe, based on what I think, based on talking to people from all sides, that the Mahayuti will get a majority, a clear majority. There's a fundamental difference between the mood in Maharashtra, between the Lok Sabha election and the Vidhan Sabha election. You can attribute it to various things. And I think that the campaign that the Mahayuti ran was a far more localized campaign, far more focused campaign on issues that matter to the people. In a Lok Sabha election, it's natural that you're expecting every state to go with the national mood by and large. Although Maharashtra, like some southern states, had a different mood. In the Vidhan Sabha election, the alliance partners got together, were very cognizant of that, and ran a campaign that was localized, that was had regional aspirations, gave attention to regional issues in Marathwada versus regional issues in Mumbai versus regional issues in Vidarbha. So I'm confident the alliance will get a majority, a clear majority. The numbers
winning Worli. Are you going to emerge the giant slayer, or will you in the end be the Bali ka Bakra? Are you winning or not? What's your confidence level? वो तो बताओ, आपका poll क्या कह रहा है?
Look, firstly, let me say this on a very serious note, that my relationship with Worli is not a relationship, and I said this to you on your show, that it's not a relationship where you live in one constituency and you travel by train or by plane and fight elections from another constituency. This is my, as I said, my Janma Bhumi, my Karma Bhumi. This is where I live, reside, where I fight elections from. What happens here affects me, the good and bad affects me directly. And in that sense, the relationship with Worli, with South Mumbai transcends politics, transcends power, transcends post. That said, I did sense a tremendous amount of anti-incumbency against Aditya. It took me by surprise. But then again, the Lok Sabha elections, he won by almost 70,000 votes 5 years ago in an assembly. In the Lok Sabha election, his candidate won by barely 6,500 votes from Worli, which was 90% of that margin was shaved off. So there's tremendous anti-incumbency. But let's see what happens. I'm not somebody who likes to be overconfident and boast. I think we put a good campaign together. We certainly put them on the spot. We highlighted positive issues, and ultimately for me what matters is, I've fought many elections, I've seen many elections from home. Running a positive, clean, good, constructive campaign is very, very important, especially
why I was asking you the question of what your numbers look like, because the BJP contested about 150 odd seats. If they get say 100 plus, they may want to have their own man as chief minister. There's already been some BJP leaders saying, oh, within our cadre, within our party, people want Devendra Fadnavis. So if the BJP emerges as decisively the number one party, are you concerned that your leader, currently Eknath Shinde, may no longer be chief minister?
No, I'm not concerned about these things, and my simple advice to you guys in the studio is just wait 3 days. Everything will be clear in 3 days. Nothing's going to change if you debate this endlessly for 3 days. And I know it's difficult for your profession.
He's basically telling us, go home,
be patient,
don't do
and
this.
everything will be clear in 3 days.
I think as I said,
just imagine
Milind Deora may admit it or not.
When a candidate fights the election, imagine what the candidate is thinking. Imagine what a candidate is thinking, that what will happen, what's going on in that booth, in that EVM machine. Is it in my favor? Is it some? You have to relax. You have to take a chill pill, let it, relax, and in 3 days everything will become clear. So there's no point speculating this endlessly.
Behaving very zen-like. Yeah, but you'll basically put us out of business and send us for sannyas. We're too young for sannyas, not going for any sannyas just yet.
I think the fact is that those 49
that's the
seats.
Problem. Now it's become
repeat,
an addiction.
Milind Deora is one of those 49 seats, which is going to see a primary battle between the two Senas. There are battles within a battle, Rahul.
Is he looking nervous, Rajdeep?
No, he's not. I mean, look, Milind Deora is, in a way, he's taken a tough challenge. It's not easy to take on Aditya Thackeray in Worli. But look, the good news for him is even if he loses, his Rajya Sabha MPship is there. He's
No, but it's a battle of that. Once you're in, look at the family he comes from. His father, he himself has nurtured South Bombay. So it's a matter of prestige.
Excuse me, both of you.
Milind Deora exemplifies just how much Maharashtra politics has changed. If you had asked me 10 years ago that Milind Deora would be taking on Aditya Thackeray in Wali, I would have laughed you off.
Why would you have laughed us off?
As Shiv Sena, because who would have thought that the politics of Maharashtra would change so dramatically? The fact is the politics of Maharashtra is broken. Milind Deora may like it, not like it.
No, but he feels much happier and comfortable now than he did in his past party.
Look, Milind Deora, Milind Deora can say that he's more comfortable in the Shiv Sena. The fact was, Milind Deora was a hardcore congressman till 5 years ago. Now he has to explain the switch. My limited point, Rahul, is there are these 49 seats between the two Senas.
He's objecting to us speaking about him in third person when he's listening. Yes, Milind bhai, go for it.
Both of you, I must say something that I'm here. You're talking about me non-stop as if I've left the room already. I'm right here. Please, my request to you, stop speculating endlessly. Wait, be patient. You're talking about me in third person when I'm right here. Ask me the question directly, I'll answer. I'm not nervous.
No, my direct question then to you. My direct question. 49 seats, Sena versus Sena.
We ran a good campaign.
Sir, just a minute. Forget that. Forget the, forget giving me the usual, thing. We ran a good campaign. I want to ask you straight. 49 seats, Sena versus Sena. The vote has got completely split. Who is the Marathi Manus with? Is it with Aditya Thackeray, Milind Deora? Is it with Sada Sarvankar or an Amit Thackeray? These are the contests that people are looking at because they will decide the Marathi Manus. Why would the Marathi Manus go with Milind Deora and not with Aditya Thackeray?
Okay, let him speak. Milind.
Okay, done?
Yep.
Yeah. So firstly, in the Lok Sabha election, the strike rate of my party was higher than it was of UBT, point number one. Point number two, I can assure you that the strike rate, when you're asking me where is the Marathi Manus and who is the Marathi Manus with, you will get that answer on the 23rd. The Marathi Manus, I believe, especially in cities like Mumbai, has shifted with us for various reasons, which you can debate on the 23rd.
Okay, so, you're saying don't stress about numbers, don't speculate. So, as a candidate who's now waiting to see what happens in the end, how do you intend to pass the next 3 days, Milind Deora? What's your jam? What do you intend to do?
Without sounding offensive and definitely not to watch the two of you speculating this to death for the next 3 days. These are things, elections, you have to trust the process. I mean, I don't want to sound Zen-like and philosophical here, but you have to trust the process. I think that I really believe that you can see trends and you could see that there was distress in the Lok Sabha election, that Maharashtra has had a different mood as compared to the national mood. You can tell that those boxes have been ticked in the last 6 months. Every single box has been ticked, from agrarian issues to urban issues, from schemes to infrastructure projects. There were so many infrastructure projects in Mumbai itself, which before the Lok Sabha elections were yet to be opened, yet to be commissioned, yet to be completed. Those have been opened, completed, commissioned, announced, open to the public. They're using them for the last 3 months, 4 months. All these things have had an impact. So I'm confident that people have seen progress on the ground. People have seen that this government does what it says. And those are the reasons why I'm confident that the Mahayuti will come back to power.
Okay, we wish you all the best. You fought a tough campaign. This would really be Milind Deora, the giant slayer, if he wins against Aditya Thackeray. Saying don't speculate, so we'll have you back on the 23rd. For taking out time today, Milind Deora, thank you very much. Amitabh Tiwari, you're now in the hot seat. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call back my simulation. And, you've run itna hua to waisa hua, aisa hua to waisa.
So what do you want us to do? You want us to
I
put
want you to
numbers
give
there?
us a sense. No, listen, here's what I wish to say. Before someone takes a screenshot and then, trolls anyone, here's the idea. The fact is that no one poll in the last few polls, whether it was Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, or the Lok Sabha elections, or even the US elections, has proven to be exact. So instead of just pinning the entire coverage on just one poll, the idea is to look at the numbers, look at the credible polls. We'll show you Yashwant's data in just a moment. And then also look at what else could happen, so it doesn't seem as if that's the only one poll which is the gospel. Okay, so Amitabh Tiwari, that said, The Mahayuti contested 149 seats, the Sena 81, 59. Give us a sense of what you think may happen and why. And I'll put down the numbers.
Oh, you want me to get trolled on?
नहीं troll नहीं इसमें से trolling से क्यों डर
Go for it.
trolling
See,
से
I
क्या
think
डरना?
logically, if you
देखो
see,
whatever happens they'll find some reason to troll
Yeah.
you. So why are we worried about
so
trolling? Go
okay,
for
so
it.
logically, if you see here, out of 150 odd seats which BJP is contesting, if BJP gets a strike rate of lower than 60%, which means 90 seats, then Mahayuti story is done.
And
If they get less than, no, Rajdeep, you separately. Don't mix up the analysis.
No, just for our viewers, just to explain, while you have 149 seats, please do not forget there are 17 to 20 BJP candidates contesting either on a Shinde Sena ticket or NCP Ajit Pawar.
No,
Please
so
keep
you are
that in
saying
mind.
you are saying the BJP is likely has to be more than 90
Has to be
plus.
90 minimum for Mahayuti to win.
To get a majority, you're
To
saying.
get a majority, 90 seats. It
So
has
you're
to
saying
win 90.
that would be 90 for them.
90 for them. Then if we come to the weaker links, I mean comparatively weaker links, which are Shinde Sena and Ajit Pawar's NCP. Now, if you see Shinde Sena, as Rajdeep ji has said, 53 contests, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray versus Shinde, Eknath Shinde.
Yes.
Now here in Mumbai, I don't think things are going to change compared to Lok Sabha.
I
It's
agree with you.
largely going to remain the same.
I agree.
Now the question is that in Thane Konkan, Shiv Sena Shinde did fairly well compared to Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb.
Okay, so I've got BJP plus BJP at 90 plus. Now Shinde Sena at what? Out of the 81 seats they're fighting.
Yeah, so Shinde Sena, again, minimum if they do not win 50% of their battles.
So 40.
40, they have to win 40. And they can win 40 because in Thane Konkan, they did exceedingly well
No,
compared
so if
to
the
UBP.
BJP gets 90 plus, the Sena gets 40 plus, then they're home, 130 odd.
No, 1
Correct.
minute. It's 144.
Around, around that. Now, if you see NCP, now NCP strike rate was just 25%, a 1 out of 4 in 2024 Lok Sabha election. This time, I don't see them coming below 20 in any case. So 20 to 25.
तो हो गया ना 150.
So
Then they're
even
through.
if they have a 40% strike rate, they are likely there. So the key is BJP to get 90 out of 150 out of this. They have to get that. Otherwise, it becomes difficult because the other parties may not be able to win more than 2/3 of what the BJP is
No,
winning.
but I would add one thing,
Yes.
that even if BJP does not get 90, but if Congress gets less than BJP, whatever BJP gets, then technically speaking, it will be single largest party. So the everything changes.
Now, how does that change? No, 1 minute, 1 minute. They've gone as both pre-poll alliances. Let's be
Yes,
very
yes,
clear.
pre-poll
So,
alliances.
I mean, are you telling
No,
me the
but
governor does not invite the largest pre-poll
No,
alliance?
that's what I'm saying. If
She's
these
saying
two
the
is
Congress
taken
is
care
less,
of,
yeah.
if the total of MBA is not higher than Mahayuti, but BJP Congress, amne samne, if BJP is little, even 1 seat higher than Congress, then the things change. And we have to remember that only 3 days are left.
Yeah, sure. So,
No,
so you see,
3 days are left to form the assembly.
So you see,
So
you-
there is a, unless you go
Yeah.
for a president rule,
that your point
Then-
is well taken. But you see, the fact is, for the common, let's do it on the other side. You know, it's
yeah.
interesting.
Okay, one second.
How does the other side reach
Yes,
halfway?
Yes.
Because if Rahul, if the BJP is 90 plus, that means the Congress cannot cross 60 under any circumstances.
But 60 is not bad for
Okay,
Congress.
No, but-
wait. Rajdeep, 1 second. Now I'm ready for you. Congress fighting 101. What are you saying?
Their best case scenario, they have to be between 50 and 60. I mean, that they have to win 50% of their seats again.
50 plus you're saying.
If they have to
Yeah,
win
50,
60.
let's say they
60
let's
plus.
say closer to 60. They have to be between 55 and 60.
क्या लिखूं यहाँ पे?
55 and 60.
55 plus.
55 plus. ठीक है, 55 plus. Right?
Okay, my writing was always terrible, okay, even in school. So bear
They're
with me.
55 plus.
I don't think it's looking nice.
Sena,
Then you come to NCP.
Is it legible or not legible?
Yeah, come to NCP first.
Okay,
NCP, Sharad Pawar has picked the choicest seats.
Correct.
Where he's got the best chance. If you look at his strike rate in Lok Sabha, it was 80%. That's not going to happen in the Vidhan Sabha.
Sure.
But let's say if he can also get 60% strike rate, which puts him at around 50 seats, right?
Yeah.
45 to 50. Put him at 50. 55 plus 50 is 105.
Okay.
As everyone in Mumbai has said, Sena UBT has to get 40 seats for a Maha Vikas Aghadi government to be formed. If they cannot get 40 seats, game is over. Because then it means that the Shinde Sena has bested them. which clearly gives a huge boost to the Mahayuti. So I think these are the two best scenarios. If this happens, they are what, 145? Yeah. If this happens, if Pradeep's, oh, you've removed the numbers. They were 90 and they were 40.
40 and 25.
25.
Something like that, yeah.
130, that's 155.
Yeah.
So these are the two scenarios, best case scenarios, I think, unless there's a sweep. Unless we've underestimated, only I can see Mahayuti sweeping because of Larki Behen. But if Larki Behen is not working, then you're in for a seat-by-seat contest. That's how I see it. That's plain safe.
One thing here is very interesting is that the NCP SP versus NCP AP, the type of sweep which Sharad Pawar got, like 74% of the vote share and 26% to NCP AP, is unlikely to happen this time.
Okay.
That sort of lead NCP Sharad Pawar may not get.